I heard a little whisper about this place called Bali. That's the ultimate dream, just to be on this island with perfect waves, just live off the land and coconuts and bananas, bring back memories of a kid, you know, this is what it's all about.
We were mesmerised by this whole culture of Bali. People just riding bikes, chatting. Everyone had time. It was just Bali. It was just two villages, Kuta and Legian, and a track between the two.
It was still pristine. You still had to walk. That was part of the excitement.
Yeah, we'd heard about this Tasman glacier that's like 18 miles long or something. I mean, I couldn't even imagine skiing that far. Completely unspoiled, completely remote. We ran across a very large crevasse that looked like we could get down into, and it had a river running through it. Those glaciers are thousands of feet thick. The stream that you see is running on ice. You could see into the ice. It was like a glass room. It was like being inside a belly of a fish. There were ribs. With the ice falls and the crevasses, we figured using a hang glider would be a great way to go places that you wouldn't dream of setting foot on. We did get a little bit low, and the winds didn't cooperate. We completely misjudged and got sucked in a lot deeper than we wanted to be. And all of a sudden, this avalanche occurred. Totally unplanned. We had no idea. This could take your life. If that avalanche had occurred at the wrong time, this would be a different story. You may not know it at the time, but when you look back on it, you go, wow, that was the time. The unplanned, the unstaged.
Jeff and Blair were the first to experience this on a glacier which had existed for millennia, but they would also be among the last.
Tell me, where do the children play?
It's impossible to stop this thing. It's the nature of the beast.
In the 70s, we had little idea of what real wealth could be lost through an economy based on consumerism and perpetual growth.
I always wanted to take my son Simon back and just to show him Bali, you know. The development just blew me away.
They must be looking back and going, wow, what's happened to this place in 30 years? They've lost something, and they've lost it for good. It's gone.
All I wanted to do was just to give Simon a taste of how it used to be, that sense of discovery all over again. There was a little village there, and it was just like Bali used to be, you know. It was just totally untouched, so natural, you know, Mother Nature at its best, and the water was just so unpolluted, so clean. There's just so few places left in the world like that.
I listen to all the sounds of nature's call, reminding me how the way things used to be. Everything's changed so very drastically. Concrete jungles pave their way through the trees. Come on and see there's a new way in our mind, within, outside. I believe we have the power to change the way we live each day, sparing thought for the earth's land.
The last day we were there, we found out that the island had actually been sold to a developer. Well, another one gone.
I've seen so many paradises around the planet raped and pillaged. So what we're trying to do is reverse it. We're taking an area that was heavily abused and helping nature rebuild what was here like a century ago. Global warming has enhanced the killing of the reef. So we're having to get into a project of regenerating reef here. They just pump a little light dose of electricity into them and bang, away she goes. It's almost like planting young trees. A little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of water, and you have a forest again. People constantly ask us, when are you going to start building? And we go, well, we already have. You know, we're building a park, we're cleaning up space. If only some developers and investors would get onto it, they'd realise that the best investment they could make is actually restoring nature, because it's in such high demand.
Yeah, and we were so lucky to live out our childhood dreams, and we need to build a world that the kids can still do that.
We're only here for such a small amount of time, and we should be leaving a nice footprint.
To truly see our footprints, we have to look back. Our choice of fossil fuels in the past has cost us this wilderness heritage.
Our biggest glacier is disappearing at an alarming rate. Researchers say Aoraki Mount Cook's Tasman Glacier is being gobbled up by a lake formed from melting ice.
The 7-kilometre length of the lake shows how far it's gone in the last 30 or so years.
For me, I have hard evidence that something's going on. There's Tasman Lake. There wasn't a Tasman Lake.
And it's expected to retreat another 7 Ks in the next decade.
Through this journey, we have witnessed enormous changes. We all accept the world we're born into as the norm. And so, with each generation, we have gradually lost sight of the paradise this planet used to be. By rekindling the innovative spirit and a love of the wild, we could restore the wilderness to its rightful magnificence. Our hope lies with the next generation, their parents and their educators. Because tomorrow's protectors of the wilderness are the kids that play in it today.
If you're bored, bare feet and a beach suffice, then escape with me into the last paradise.